America, we are back, baby. Welcome to Friday's episode of America Unfiltered. We got a great show for you guys tonight. We're going to do a reaction stream to Myron Gaines' college campus debate at USC. This will be a fun one. I'm filming this on Thursday, so the comments from Thursday's episode and today's episode will all be read at the end of Monday's episode. I want to remind everyone to smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the show. We get to the comments at the end of Monday's episode. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. I want to remind you guys to join our Telegram channel as well by scanning the code up in the corner to stay updated on all things America Unfiltered and America First. But with that, we are going to get right into the reaction stream. We're not going to waste any time here, guys. Do want to get this pulled up for you. I haven't watched this video either. I've seen a couple clips on Instagram Reels, as I'm sure some of you guys have. But this is the 30-minute full cut-up debate where he just goes from person to person. No gaps in between, where we can see Myron Gaines debating these college kids. It's like they thought Charlie Kirk was the radical. You guys are about to see something fun. Here we go, though.
You don't offend me, you don't scare me.
No matter how much makeup you wear, how fat you are, no matter how insufferable you are, you're still great. Slay. All right, you're good. Who's up next? Yes, okay. Hey, I will say this. You got fatter since last time.
Oh.
Might want to exercise a little bit. I know school just started. The gyms are probably open.
I'm not here to listen. If you are asking me to listen, so you should listen as well.
Yeah, we should get Muhammad out here.
Nobody watches WNBA. WNBA wouldn't be a thing, right?
Yeah, it's subsidized, bro. Do you not realize it's negative?
Idiots.
Every year, it loses money?
If it loses money every year, it wouldn't be smart to keep it running, right? But
you're right. You're right. See, that's why you're Asian. You're smart. Notice how the guys are able to control themselves and they wait their turn. Then the women are just yelling in the background, etc. Get her a spatula somewhere.
Do we need to bring some sort of Sharia law to America to get our women back in check?
That's woman propaganda. That guy, that's the woman propaganda guy, Hayden McDougal or something like that. Base guy. Love that guy. Love his content. We got to support woman propaganda too.
What's up, guys? Welcome. I think I'm here somewhere in South Carolina, right? Columbia, South Carolina. I think that's where we're at right now. USC. Myron Gaines, one half of the Fresh and Fit podcast, a.k.a. the most misogynistic, anti-Semitic. I'm just kidding. So here are just some of my positions, I guess, that I can give you guys, both politically and culturally, so you guys have an idea of where I stand. Number one, women are dumb. They need to be second-class citizens. Blacks are crooks. Jews run America.
Wow.
Indians stink. Chinese are good with math. Trans should be in asylums and away from guns and away from our kids. Gays should not be able to adopt children. And Title IX is a scam. So my first topic here is trans should be in asylum.
This is Delta. This is my dog. This is Delta Bear. Yeah, Delta.
I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. We saw what happened tragically in Minneapolis. Individual thought it was a good idea to open fire on innocent children. And this isn't the first time that we've had these crazies do this. This also happened earlier up in Tennessee. And I think we need to have a serious discussion on trans people, mental illness, and them not being able to procure firearms. You know, men and women are different. We're biological.
She's going to be doing the reaction today, as you guys can see. She's filling in for me.
Logically different, and if you try to take a guy and tell him that he's a woman or he feels like he's a woman, something is wrong with him. So I think that creates a lot of issues for us as a society, and we need to stop cucking ourselves and thinking, oh, let's go ahead and just, he feels like he's a woman, so let's treat him like he's a woman. And then he goes ahead and plays in female sports and smashes all the girls because they suck. So it's like, for all the feminists that are mad at me, you guys should agree with me on this one at least, because I'm protecting female sports even though it's useless. So I do think that women should have the ability to play sports and everything, but let's not be delusional here and think that it's the same as male sports or that it's entertaining. Nobody shows up to WNBA games. The NBA has to subsidize it. And, yeah. Well, look, they're saying, oh, bro, we show up.
First off, why are you talking shit about our women's basketball team? Because you don't know how to play basketball.
That's your argument?
And why are you talking shit about women with people with disabilities? Because most people with disabilities have sports with issues. So why are you talking shit about that? So what's your problem?
So what's your main grievance? Is it about women's sports and basketball or disabilities?
Both.
Okay, well, for the basketball thing, women...
Wait, let me finish talking.
Oh, wow, okay.
So what about you? What's your disability? Do you have any disabilities?
I have a high tolerance for stupid people talking to me. I'd say that's a disability.
Yeah, that's not no disability, sir, because you're racist. Thank you very much.
That was a good one. Ask a bunch of questions and walk away. Makes sense. Perfect.
Hello.
There you go, guys. Prove my point right there, man. Women can't control themselves. Go ahead.
I have a cool talent. If
Yeah.
you give me any random date and year, I could tell you the exact day of the week you were born on.
Say that again. Any random what? His
Like-
mic is down. I can't hear him.
Like, when's your birth?
Yeah, you got to talk closer to the mic. I can barely hear you. Go ahead.
Like, when's your birthday and year, and I could tell you the exact day of the week you were born on.
Okay,
gotta
you're
be
like
autistic.
a numerologist or something, or
I'm a human calendar. I'm a savant. Like, when's your birthday and year, and I can tell you the exact day of the week you were born on. Trust me.
do you need what is it? The day and the year?
Yeah, the day and the year.
Yeah, April 20th, 1990.
April 20th, 1990 is
Yeah.
a Wednesday.
Oh, okay, great.
Same birthday as Hitler. It's crazy.
No, you had it right. You had it right. 420.
Wait, April 20th, 1990? No, that wasn't a Wednesday. That was a Friday.
Okay, all right. It's a Friday. There you go. Okay, who's up next? Any other astrology people or numerologists or something? What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I just have one quick question. What's
Sure.
your bench?
What's a what?
What's your bench?
What's my what?
Bench. Like
Oh,
your
what's
one
my
rep
bench?
max.
I don't know, man. I haven't benched in a while. I do mostly calisthenics.
What's calisthenics? How many pull-ups can you do?
Between 15 and 20.
That's solid.
Yeah.
250?
250. Yeah, I do mostly calisthenics nowadays, man. I'm getting old. Actually, we were talking about that on the way here.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, man? How are you?
What are your thoughts on Peter Thiel and J.D. Vance next election?
Well, Peter Thiel is quite literally a cocksucker. And I think that he's ushering in a very dangerous future for us.
Yep.
You know, the guy is literally behind the software, him and Alex Karp, that's killing a bunch of innocent children all across Gaza. So, yeah, I think having a bunch of technocrats in positions of power can be quite problematic for our future.
So you said
And
that.
as far as J.D. Vance, like his background is very shady.
So you said that transgender shouldn't be allowed to have guns, correct?
Yes.
But don't you think it's a slippery slope, and eventually that might be tyrannical overreach? So the government might ban like more people from having guns.
That's a totally good argument. We already have that though, because we already have under 18 USC 922, which is what the federal agencies arrest people for whenever they're a prohibited person. We already have a bunch of different classes of people that can't have guns, and I think we need to put trans people in that classification.
But like
Under the mental illness.
But wouldn't they just put more people? Like, couldn't they consider people based off certain political views mentally ill? And wouldn't that just start making to where eventually no one can have guns?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely make that argument, but I think it's pretty distinct that people that are transsexual need to definitely be put in there. I mean, if you have a certain political ideology, that could be on a case-by-case basis, but I think when it comes to trans, it's pretty obvious that there's something wrong there with them mentally.
All right.
No worries. Anybody else? Anybody else? I know we got some people that just walked in. Can go through some of my positions again. Number one, women are dumb. Blacks are crooks. Jews run America. Indians smell. Chinese are good at math. Trans should be in asylums and away from guns. Title IX is a scam, and female sports is a waste of time.
Just like an average homeroom class back in high school. You know, you get into school at like 7:40 in the morning. You're at homeroom. You're just shooting the shit with the fellas. That's just like average speech for men. That's light for a COD lobby.
I know that you guys said something about, someone was complaining about you guys have a good female sports basketball team or something like that. So, I mean, that's great and all, but it's like, female sports is kind of like, you have a kid, right? Like, let's say you got a kid or like a cousin or something, like a little cousin, gives you like a painting that's all crappy and it sucks and it's like finger painting or whatever, and they give it to you and you're like, oh, thank you, and you like frame it or whatever more because like you love them, no, not necessarily because the art is good. That's like female sports. Like you're there because it's like, okay, I go to school here, I like this girl or I like this person, I'm here to show support. But like realistically speaking, you're not there because it's like actually good. You're there as like moral support.
There's like one good WNBA player, Caitlin Clark.
That's like what women's sports is kind of. Because the reality is, we would just, if they were so good, they would compete with the men, but they can't do that. So, and I also find it interesting how we'll sit here and we'll subsidize female sports, right? Even though it's like negative, doesn't make money, it's completely an L. But like we would never do that for male sports. Like if the NBA for some weird reason was like negative and didn't produce any type of profit, we would get rid of it. We would completely, it would be disbanded. But like for the WNBA, we allow it to keep going, even though it's a money sink because of feelings, right? This kind of comes back to my whole concept of, we make separate standards for women while simultaneously watering down the entire industry. I'll give you another example. I don't think women should be in law enforcement, especially in positions where they're going to have to be hands-on, right? Because I could tell you someone that used to work in law enforcement, and anyone here that works in law enforcement knows you have a female backup. It's like, damn, you're pretty much on your own. Because they just don't have the same physical capacity to take down a suspect or enforce an arrest properly. And a lot of the times their ineptitude will put you in danger. They're more likely to shoot. They're more likely to escalate because they don't have the physical strength to subdue a person or a suspect. And it creates a lot of issues. So that's another example. Military as well. What's that, man? Your mic is...
Is it good now? Okay.
Yeah, it should be. You got to talk real close to it, though, because...
Yeah, I can hear now. All right. So last time you were here, I asked you about your sympathies for the Nazi Party. Would you mind elaborating on like why you believe the Nazis are a good thing?
Well, the thing is, you want to... We just started the stream, right? Yeah, because we just started this thing. Look, we'll do that at the end. We'll do that at the end.
Does anyone else have a question, or would they like to hear the answer?
Well, we'll do it. We'll do it at the, because here's the thing: is we're streaming right now. I have no problem talking about this topic, but we're streaming right now.
But
so
you have no problem
that's why.
addressing it. You should have no problem addressing it in public, right?
Well,
you've said it.
I've talked about it publicly a bunch of times. We're live on a bunch of different platforms that have user guidelines, which in itself should tell you kind of the world that we live in, where censorship is extremely heavy. So,
well, I mean, you're a free speech warrior, right?
I am absolutely, but we're on platforms that don't respect free speech, unfortunately.
So this
like
is all
YouTube,
about just
etc.
monetization, then, right?
No, actually, no. I'm demonetized for talking about this stuff. It's more about getting information out there.
Why not talk
but
about
again, like I said before, we'll definitely talk about it. But we literally just started the stream. Don't want to fucking get the thing canceled right now. So we'll have that discussion. I'm happy to have it. We're here till 3, man. We're here till 3.
Yeah, nice. I'm glad you can get that bag, but just so everyone's aware, he will not, for the second time in a row...
Is the guy not listening? He's demonetized. He's not getting shit. He gets money from super chats, you retard.
Address the question of
we just started up the stream, dude, and we're on another guy's stuff.
And I'm not saying I don't support Nazis, but... Like, stupid fucking question. Guy's not listening.
Not going to ruin someone else's platform, okay?
I mean, I'm really sorry for him, but, like... You're not
no,
really
no, it's fine. We're here till 3. If you're so brave about it, come back. We have this discussion at the end.
Sure, man.
Because you always come in the middle of the stream. Like, come at the end, we can discuss it. I have no problem talking about it. No, you definitely did. You came in the middle last time as well. You did the same thing. You came in the middle last time as well. But we'll have that discussion. No problem. Never said I love them, but that's fine. You can mischaracterize my position.
Based.
They lied. I'll tell you this. There's a lot of lies World War II for a bunch of different reasons. That's not a non-statement. Okay. Yeah, and you're a pussy. And you're a pussy. Well, no, come back again. We'll have that discussion at the end. Come back again. You always come in the middle trying to sabotage. I know what you're trying to do, bro.
Hell yeah.
Because he did the same exact shit last time.
Stand where?
And at the end of the day, we're on people's platforms that aren't mine, so I don't want to ruin what they got because of my political views. What's up, man?
Oh.
But we can have it at the end. We'll have that discussion at the end, for sure. We'll cut the rumble and we'll fucking go all in. What's up?
All right. So you said blacks are crooks. What that mean? Where that come from? What type of...
What that mean? What that mean? Is we getting food stamps? What that mean?
What does that mean? Look at me.
So I don't want to live in a predominantly black neighborhood.
Yeah.
You see where I live at?
Yeah, it's mostly white people.
Yeah, hell yeah. But still.
So I think me and you agree on that one.
No, that don't mean blacks are crooks, though. It's black people here that's great people. I mean, it's
yeah, sure.
We're not saying
I don't want to live in
not.
a black majority neighborhood.
That don't mean they crooks.
The reason why is because it's high crime areas 9 out of 10 times.
Damn right. But you'll survive. You'll be
What was
right. You're dead right. In certain areas like Chicago or some shit, but we ain't in Chicago. Niggas ain't finna just shoot you for no reason out here.
They might.
In here or
yes,
where?
here in Columbia.
Yeah, but like no, bro. Like I'm not trying to be like black majority neighborhoods tend to be high crime, and I don't want to be there. And I know you don't want to be there either. That's why you're here, right? Because you're not at Howard for a reason, right? So
I just went here because I like USC.
Well, you're speaking really, bro. You got to talk into my.
I like
can barely
Columbia.
hear you.
I like USC Columbia.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. It's good breakdown here.
Beautiful area.
Ratio.
But like whenever you say blacks are crooks, you gotta like give a point and some specific like truths to it. Because you just said blacks are crooks and then high crime rate.
Yeah, they're a minority of the population, yet they commit a majority of the violent crime. Simple as that. Yeah. Like what, 30% of the population, and then the men are like about 6%, and then they're committing something like 50% of the violent crime.
That's also a result.
That's a problem.
That's also a result of where they are and what they're in and what the government do to them and how they feel. Because you got to think about their own government assistance. They sit here in the hood and they think the only way out is to sell some drugs and shoot some guns, but that's not the truth. You can go to university still.
Well, that just removes accountability. That just removes accountability from black people.
It's because there's less opportunity.
No, it's
well, that's not an excuse. There's plenty of people that grow up poor that are able to make something of themselves without being criminals.
Look, it's people that can do it, but the fact that they have to fight.
CEO of Starbucks grew up in subsidized housing. Look where he's at. He's a billionaire.
And instead of just being white and being born white and just come to school, come to USC and be great, you can't just do that as a nigga. It's not gonna happen.
I would argue that you have more opportunities as a black person as a white guy nowadays.
You're a damn lie.
No, that's the truth.
You're a damn lie. You know that.
No.
You know that.
So I can talk about that. So here's the thing, bro. With DEI, affirmative action, etc., like we've absolutely made it where minorities and women have far more opportunities than white guys. That's the truth. So
because they don't need no help. They got it already. They got it as soon as they was popped out the coochie.
Well, here's the thing. Look, if we're gonna go off of meritocracy, that's cool, but we don't go off meritocracy. We go off of we want to go ahead and fill quotas so that we can have a diverse workplace. And then what ends up happening is you have a bunch of people that aren't qualified for the job or not as good because we want to bring them in to diversify the workplace. I think that's a big problem.
That
I think we need to go off
That's the women
meritocracy.
thing. That's the women thing. That's not black people. You don't stay on the black people topic.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of black people are on some bullshit, and they get into schools and they get into positions, and they shouldn't be in there, but they end up coming in somehow because they get accepted with lower test scores. They get accepted.
Yeah, if we don't address the IQ issues and the differences in it, it just will never get better. Until that gets addressed on the federal level and on the on the global scale level, we'll never get anywhere. There is clear IQ differences.
Because of certain opportunities where they're like, oh, we need to accept this amount of kids into our school to fit this quota. So it waters down the entire environment.
But if they aren't qualified, they will fail.
What was that?
If they aren't qualified, they will fail the course, no matter if they get in or not.
No, they get in with lower test scores.
Yeah,
my
and
point.
they get in and fail if they aren't qualified.
But the point is they took that position from someone else that wouldn't have failed if they got in. So they get an opportunity they never deserved in the first place. That proves my point. They get in, they fail. They shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, exactly. They failed. They just ain't make it.
But they took. You don't understand. For them to get that spot, they display someone else that was qualified.
You talking about some small couple people that get in.
Oh, now small couple people.
Because
No,
I'm a person that got there for a reason.
Thousands and
so whenever
thousands.
you somebody that got there for a reason, it's a difference between somebody that just got there because they black. I got here because I did my job. I did my work. I ain't get here because I'm.
Dude, this guy talks in broken English and he's talking like he's smart. You are affirmative action in DAI.
Black. I ain't get here because I'm black. So they like, oh, black people let the black nigga in.
All right, so then if you got here, if you got here based off your meritocracy. If you got here off your meritocracy, then you should be mad that they're allowing black people in that don't have the same merit because that makes you look bad.
I'm mad that you saying black people in general ain't got it like that. Like we the ones that's crooks, so we can't just come here and do it off our own muscle. We can.
Okay, so
certain people don't ever get that opportunity.
Look. This is that victim mindset again that black people tend to have.
Yeah.
If you grow up in a bad environment, right? You can't blame everybody else for growing up in a bad environment. You can overcome and make something of yourself, but it's no one's obligation to feel sorry for you or make concessions for you to be able to get in or for them to lower their standards because you grew up in a bad neighborhood or you grew up poor. I grew up poor. I was able to figure it out, right? I grew up with brown skin. I grew up Muslim. I grew up with all the stereotypes against me, but I was able to figure it out and I didn't let that stop me. So the problem is that people sit there and say, oh, I'm from the hood, blah, blah, blah. It's like that. You're limiting yourself.
Yeah, but they could be from the hood, and then their uncle is the goddamn big homie. Their uncle OG. The OG, he gonna jump them in as soon as they turn 12. As soon as he hop off the porch, he born into this, bro. He gets stuck there as soon as he hopped off the porch.
Who chooses if he jumps off the porch?
Yeah, but he ain't got nowhere to go after that. Once he do, at 12 years old, hey, he already in the streets. He's stuck there forever. Now.
Okay, so let me ask you this then.
No accountability.
Let me ask you this.
Right?
Do you think black people have agency?
What?
Do black people have agency?
Oh, I don't know what that is, man.
Bruh.
You gotta let me know. You gotta let me know what that is.
He said he don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is,
yeah,
twin.
You got the 4.0, bro. Like, come on, man.
4.2.
Yeah,
4.2.
Bruh, this is why college is a scam, bro. Hold on, man. College is a scam.
Yeah, yo, like.
College is a scam, bro. So, look, we can't sit here and say, oh, they're going to hop off the porch on one side and be like, oh, my God, we got to, make all these concessions for them. And then on the other hand, be like, oh, yeah, they don't have any agency. It's like, dude, you got to take accountability. It's either you're an adult and you make your own decisions, you got to live with those decisions, or not. We treat you like a second-class citizen. All right, last time I checked, I think MLK fought for equal rights, equal civil liberties, which means you got to deal with the responsibility that comes with that authority. What's up, man?
All right, so I believe you quoted the statistic. You said 13% of the population commits 50% of the violent crime, right?
Well, 30% of the population is black.
Right, so based off that, what conclusion would you come to based off that?
Well, you mean, sorry, what's
the conclusion that you come to based off that statistic?
Well, a minority of the people are committing a majority of the violent crime.
Because why?
There's a multitude of different reasons.
Well, what do you believe the reason to be? Do you think
broken homes, the lack of the father figure in the household, bad culture, elevating, drug and hip hop / gang violence and over going to school and being educated, a multitude of different reasons. It's very complex.
And because of that, you would say that, in general, you generalize that black people
Can you
are
speak
crooks.
up, bro? Guys, we got to turn up the mic for these guys because I can barely hear them. Let's turn up their mic. So, sorry. Like, I'm struggling to hear what you guys are saying. So just speak up, please.
Based off that, you said that black people are crooks, right?
Yes, they tend to be, yes. Not all, but they tend to be.
So if we follow that same logic, do you know how many mass shootings there have been in the past, couple of 10 years?
How many mass shootings?
Yes.
Yeah, how many mass shootings?
I know what he's going to say, and he's going to say that white people commit the majority of mass shootings, but that statistic is taken from a stat that takes away gang shootings. So even if you talk about just school shootings, same thing applies. School shootings and mass shootings in general are primarily done by black people, not white people. It's only primarily done by white people if you remove gang violence, which is just, that's retarded. Why would you remove gang violence from that statistic unless you're just trying to make white people look bad?
It's about 3,000 or 4,000 since 2018, right?
Okay.
How many of those shootings have been perpetrated by trans people?
Oh, he went a different direction.
I know this year, or over the past 2 years, we've had 2 or 3.
It's
Nashville,
4.
this one.
It's 4 since 2018, right?
It's 4? Okay. That's 4 too many.
Right. That would come out to about 0.1% of the population, right?
Sure.
Do you know how many people in America are trans?
How many?
About 1 or 2%.
Yeah, it's a very small percentage, yeah.
So,
I've talked about this before, where I've said that like the people on the right wing tend to inflate the trans problem, but I still do think it's a problem. And I do think that they shouldn't have guns, and I don't think they should have the ability to adopt children either. They're a minority for sure. I see what you're saying. You're like, look, they're a minority. Why do we care? Well, they just killed 2 kids yesterday, so that's a problem. And quite frankly, I think if we can go ahead and handle this problem right now while it's still a topic, they shouldn't have guns.
So based off the logic, though, you know who commits 97% of the mass shootings in America?
Lie.
Who? Straight men.
What's that?
Straight men.
Sure.
No, it's black
so
men.
Based off that logic, would you say that straight men are more likely to commit a mass shooting than a trans person?
Well, straight men are also the majority of the cops, the majority of the firefighters, the majority of the guys that protect this country, the majority of guys that are in our armed forces.
97% though.
Yeah, but that's true. But the reality is that they're not mentally ill. Like if you're trans, definition, you're mentally ill. Something's wrong with you. Okay, versus being a straight man, that's natural. Not the same whatsoever. Not an equal comparison whatsoever.
My point is though, you're trying to say that trans people are more dangerous and they shouldn't have guns whenever they, per capita, commit less mass shootings than straight men. Which is a per capita stat that you brought to earlier, saying that's why black people are crooks, is because 13% of them commit 50% of the violent crimes, right? So why can't you apply that same logic to straight men?
Because again, being straight is natural. It's the way that we've been able to create this beautiful society we have now was created by straight men, right? Trans people are inherently sick. Something is wrong with them. If you cannot sit there and identify the fact that you don't know what your gender is, well, life is a lot harder than figuring that out, which bathroom you got to go to. So these are people that aren't mentally assimilable to the society, and they need to be, kind of kept out from certain privileges, such as having a gun.
Even though they commit less shootings.
And to compare them to straight men is absolutely ridiculous.
Even though they commit less shootings than other groups,
and not only that, also keep in mind that 60% of trans have mental issues. 60% of them, and that's just the people that decide to actually go ahead and go see a psychiatrist. We haven't even figured out the people that don't go see a psychiatrist.
Right.
So a majority of them are already mentally ill. That disqualifies them off rip.
I don't think you're addressing my point about.
I'm definitely addressing your point. You're trying to compare trans people to straight people.
I'm comparing the numbers.
What was that?
I'm comparing the numbers.
Yeah, but the numbers need to be stemmed from somewhere. And if we're going to compare the numbers, we need to compare apples to apples, not apples to oranges. You're comparing straight heterosexual men that built the world up to where we see now, so that you can enjoy a lot of the benefits you have, like the headphones on your head, the shirt you're wearing, the buildings that.
Like, guns are there in case we have a tyrannical government, and if it ever came to the point where we had to overthrow a tyrannical government, it would be straight white men. It's not going to be the trannies who are getting up in arms to go fight the government. No, it's going to be the straight white men who would overthrow a tyrannical government. So again, this guy's making a stupid, retarded point. Classic Myron W.
We see here to trans people that don't contribute anything to society besides mental illness, us having to call them she when it's really a he, and a bunch of other problems. They don't really contribute to society the same way that straight men do. So they're not the same whatsoever.
No, in that case, though, then the point you're coming to isn't based off any numbers or facts. It's based off the fact that you just don't like trans people.
Well, we need to have some type of nuance here and understand what we're comparing and be honest here. If we're just going to go straight off numbers and not identify apples to apples, then it's not going to make sense.
I am identifying apples as people who identify, because you believe being trans is a choice, correct?
What was that?
Do you believe being trans is a choice?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think being straight is a choice?
What's that?
You think being straight is a choice?
It's just the norm.
No, I think, being straight is a choice or being gay is a choice?
Being straight.
Yeah, that's the natural way that it's supposed to be.
So everybody else who's outside of that, they're making a choice to do something else, right?
They're making a choice to be strange, yes. They're making to be a degenerate.
So my point is, though, people who identify, who are straight, who are men, right? They commit an over amount of the mass shootings. I don't think that straight men are more likely to commit mass shootings, but the numbers state that if you're a trans, you have a lower chance of committing a mass shooting because they're 1% of the population and only commit 0.1% of the mass shootings.
It's not the correct statistic, but he's not necessarily incorrect about everything.
Fucking numbers.
The only thing that you're saying...
It's very simple, bro. It's very simple. It's very simple.
Numbers?
Straight men created the society. Okay?
You don't like numbers?
A lot of no, it's not about the numbers. It's about, if you're going to go ahead and compare the numbers, you got to compare the numbers where it makes sense. Okay? Comparing straight men to trans men, when trans men don't contribute to society to the same degree that straight men do. See, this is how crazy it is, right? We live in this world, right? We live in this world where people forget how society was built. We've civilized the world so much that we've forgotten how we got here in the first place. We forgot that this country was built upon the backs of heterosexual men that had a family to go back to. So it went ahead and spurred ingenuity to go ahead and create a society. To compare trans is be like, well, straight guys do X, Y, Z. Also, straight guys are the majority. There's more straight guys than there are trans people.
Right,
and trans people don't contribute to society, so they're not going to get the same level of. I'm not going to give them the same level of, oh yeah, let's go ahead and accept this bad behavior from them when they're a minority and they only create problems. Okay,
straight
so
men
it's not
make
the
up
same
over
whatsoever.
40% of the population and yet commit 97% of the mass shootings.
Again, but they also protect society.
I wish Myron would bring up that it's not all, but primarily black straight men who commit most of them. And the people who are the most homophobic, or by their definition homophobic, are black people. is like, I mean, black people, a lot of them actually despise, gay people, stuff like that.
They also contribute to society. They're also the working force. They're also paying taxes. They're also doing all these
so
other
that's
things.
okay.
So
they're allowed to commit double the mass shootings. Is what you're saying?
Well, if they're significantly more, then it only would make sense that they would commit more of the crimes if they do. But you're offsetting all the other positives that they're doing as well.
I think everybody. I think everybody has something to offer. That's not my point. My point is based.
Well, what I'm saying is that trans don't offer. That's the problem. So that's why a lot of their
that's
issues
not based
that they
on
bring.
Facts, though. That's because you just don't like trans people.
No, it's not that I don't like them. I think that they need to be put in a certain position where they don't have certain accesses to certain things that can create problems for the rest of society. Whether it's having guns, which I think is problematic in itself. I don't think felons should have guns either. I don't think illegal aliens should have guns. I don't think people that renounce their citizenship, people that got a dishonorable discharge, I think we need to put them in that category alongside all those other individuals.
Based off the fact that you just don't like them, though.
No, I don't like the fact that they have guns and that they're not mentally stable. That's what I don't like.
Some people are so fucking bad at debating and they just keep repeating themselves even when someone's like, no, that's not true.
But they can exist. I don't have a problem with them existing or whatever, but if you're going to go ahead and be mentally ill, you don't get the same privileges and rights as people that are sane. That's simple as that. Just like the other people, like that's by your logic. Oh yeah, you hate felons, you hate everybody else. I don't hate them. I just think that we need to have restrictions on certain people to protect the mass society. I think that how people feel,
you think being
right,
trans
versus what's
should be a
real
crime?
are two different things. What was that?
You think being trans should be a crime?
No, it doesn't necessarily need to be a crime, but I don't think that they should necessarily be.
Because you're lumping them in with just criminals.
What was that?
You're just lumping them in with criminals. People
no,
are
they're mentally ill.
dishonorably discharged.
They're mentally ill.
Felons.
And that under federal
non-citizens
statute
in America.
It's like, why can't Laura Loomer own a gun? That's a real thing. Laura Loomer cannot own a gun because she is classified as mentally ill. She has been instituted. She has been I forget what the exact term is, but she has been put in a mental institution. She can't own a gun because she is mentally ill. It's the same argument. It's like mentally ill people shouldn't be able to own guns. And gender dysphoria is classified as a mental illness by the government.
You're just lumping them in with criticals and equating it to essentially
they're mentally ill.
Mentally ill people
can't
have guns. People with anxiety can have guns.
No, people that are mentally ill cannot have guns. Actually,
some can. Yes.
No, you cannot. If you had, it's
you might
literally.
Double check
if
that.
you yes, go ahead, look it up. 18.
Again, this guy's saying that people with anxiety can own it. It's like if you actually fill out your form honestly and you write that you have anxiety on your gun form when you're going to purchase it, you'll be denied. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
In USC 922, look it up. There's people that have mental issues or been committed to a mental institution cannot have guns.
Well, hold on. But what kind of mental issues?
No, not everyone can buy a gun. Some idiot over here on the side.
It says put transgenders in an asylum.
Yes.
You're putting the cart before the horse right now. You're saying that anybody who was put in a mental asylum shouldn't be able to have a gun because that's the law. But you're saying that transgender should be put in an asylum, and therefore they shouldn't have guns. So you're basing your argument off something that isn't even based in reality.
Yeah,
he's saying mental illness. Oh, people are fucking stupid.
Don't let them have guns. There you go. Bam. Who's up next?
Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Myron, I would like to say that I do not represent the DOD in any way, shape, or form, but I got a couple questions for you.
Sure.
So earlier you had said that women shouldn't serve in the military, law enforcement, and whatever else bullshit you said.
They should not be.
Okay, no, let me talk. Okay.
Well, if you're gonna go, because here's the thing, you're gonna make your entire argument mischaracterizing a position, right?
Go. You also said that blacks are crooks. Then you also rebutted and also said that there's a majority of different reasons why. So one main factor you said is because the father wasn't in the household. Okay, I grew up with a single mother and my dad wasn't in the household, but that's also because what happened, the political parties and the government took the black father out of the household in the 1980s based off crack cocaine. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You had to be doing drugs and doing a crime to get put in jail. So if you're going to say that your dad was doing crack, smoking crack, and he got put in jail, no sympathy.
Yeah, no. So do you want to do the military thing first, or do you want to go into, because these are two completely different topics?
You can talk now. Go ahead.
Okay, so my position when it comes to the military and it comes to law enforcement is I don't think women should be in positions where in the military combat or with being a police officer, like in patrol, where they're going to be likely to be hands-on. If they want to be in a support position, I can maybe have a discussion there. But if they're going to be in a position where they're going to get hands-on with someone, I think that's problematic and creates issues for everyone involved in that shift, in that encounter. And then with the military, same thing. I don't think they should be in combat positions because, unfortunately, women are inferior to men physically, and that creates problems. You're only as strong as your weakest point.
Why does it matter when the person next to you is going to be saving your life? If you were in battle and that was a woman, would you refuse the treatment from the woman?
It's not that I refuse the treatment. I prefer to be a man.
Why would you prefer to be a man?
Because let's say I get shot. I'm 200 pounds. Is she going to be able to drag me to safety at the same level? No.
There will be women that can. I promise you.
There's
women in the U.S. military right now, and I know for a fact that will be able to drag you. There's women in the U.S. military right now that score above men on ACFT right now.
Yeah. The minority.
There's women on campus right now that score above men.
He's talking about the exception, not the rule. Oh, this is the lack of IQ we talk about. Lack of critical thinking.
on the ACFT right now.
Look, bro, look.
Do you want names?
I get it.
Do you want names?
I get it. Like
you're saying,
look,
put transgenders in asylums, but transgenders serving the U.S. military right now, and they're just
that's a problem too. They're mentally ill.
If not better,
they're mentally
than
ill.
You as a piece of shit right now.
Look at this guy. Look, I get it, bro. You're trying to get laid. Some of these girls you think are gonna fuck you after this, but the reality is, like, simping for the girls and look, man, you can take the cape off, bro. Like, if I know you want to get some of these girls to fuck you after, but they're probably not. So this is the reality, okay?
This is about basic human respect, and you need to get through your mind.
No. It's about here's the reality, bro. Look, you gotta, calm down and make arguments off of facts and not feelings. The reality is women are physically inferior to men in almost every way. Less lung capacity, less muscle density, less strength, bone density is not the same. Women are just inferior to men in every way. I don't think that it's appropriate for women to be in combat zones where if I get shot and I need to get dragged, she will not be able to drag me. Now we're going to have her and maybe another person to come drag me and put two people on a job that could have just been one. That's a problem, and this is just the reality. Now, ask anyone that works in law enforcement or in the military, and they'll admit, if they're not going to get recorded or whatever, they'll admit to you, I prefer to have a guy in backup. I came from law enforcement myself. Whenever we had women going into the house or whatever, they'd blunder, they'd make mistakes, they're not as refined as men, they don't have the same finesse, etc. So I would always put them on the perimeter. I'm just telling you what it is, bro. Anyone from the professional experience will tell you this. It creates a liability for everyone else involved. So why do we got to go ahead and weaken the entire unit because we want to make women feel better or trans feel better? These people are mentally ill. They shouldn't have a gun anyway in the first place. And we shouldn't have women in these positions either. Have strong, able-bodied men. And let's be honest here, too. If any of you guys called 911, right, and you're literally on the verge of dying, or you're trying to get pulled out of a fucking house that's on fire, and you see two women show up, you're going to be pissed, okay? You want two fucking guys to show up that are going to the gym that can fucking carry your ass out there. Yeah. I know that for a fact. If you see two women show up, fucking Shaniqua and LaQuina, don't go to the gym and shit, stomach hanging out, oh, we gonna save you. We gonna save you. Come here, baby. Okay. And then they can't even drag your ass out the house because black women don't go to the gym. Then what? Cooked. You're dead.
Is we gonna save you?
You're fucking dead. And I'm saying what everyone here is thinking. That's why people are laughing, because it's the truth. No one wants two women to show up at the worst time of their life. When you call 911 and your life is on the line, you want two people to come in and literally get you out of the worst moment of your life. Bro, if I see LaQuina and Shaquina show up, I'm done. Just kill me. It's over.
So you feel that women aren't as equally as capable as men?
They're not. Women are physically inferior to men in every way.
They're not.
So if you were to race a woman right now, any woman that I choose, you would beat them in every physical test I gave you.
What was that?
If you were to take a physical test against a woman right now, you would beat them.
Bro, I'm talking to generalities here. In general, men are better than women at almost everything, okay? Physically.
But you're clearly not if you're saying put transgenders in asylums. Like, why? Like, why can't you just love everybody?
Look, man, like I said, I think they create a lot of problems. I don't think they contribute to society the same way. Like the other guy was trying to make the argument of like, well, you want to go ahead and take guns from trannies, but straight men commit a lot of the crimes. Yeah, but straight men also built up to society, so they're going to get way more tolerance than trans that don't contribute to society. That's a ridiculous argument.
Because that's a whole different stat line, and I'm not talking about that. But you're basically you're basically putting transgenders in asylums based off your personal belief, your personal bias to put transgenders in asylums.
Yeah. Put them in asylums. Don't let them have kids, and don't let them have guns. Yep.
But why? Why can't they have kids? Why can't they enjoy the same thing that the military fights for? We fight for freedom.
Okay.
What if somebody took all your freedoms away?
Kids grow up the best in a nuclear family with a father and a mother. Not two dads, not two women, and definitely not two people that don't know what their gender is.
Well, all it took was one mom for me, and I'm still
here.
If
you want to go ahead and be trans or gay or whatever, that's fine, but I don't think that's fair.
I only had one mom, but I talk like a retard, and I have no critical thinking skills. You didn't end up well.
That the child should be suffering because of your sexual degeneracy, because they will suffer. And we got a long line of people behind you, bro, so we can...
Okay, bye, Mr. Myron. Have a great day.
No worries. You could get back in line if you want. I just want to make sure everyone gets a chance.
That's going to be the full reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me bring you guys back to the main screen real quick. Hope you guys had a great time watching the show. I had a fun time doing it. I'm filming this on Thursday. I am going to be traveling tonight and tomorrow, and I will be back for Monday's show. As normal, we will read all the comments from yesterday's show and today's show on Monday's show. Hope you guys do have a great weekend, a blessed weekend. Please don't drink and drive, but if you do, remember to call your lawyer first. Remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. Like I said, we'll read all the comments at the end of Monday's show. Smash the subscribe button, join our Telegram channel as well, right up here. Sorry about that. And we will see you guys let's see, what is it today? It is Friday, it is going to be airing on Friday, so we'll see you guys on Monday. Hope you guys do have a blessed rest of your weekend. Thank you.